Hey everyone, Josh here with a really easy tutorial. This is for a method I developed for wrapping nano coils. Works really good for your Kayfun builds. If you need nano coils for a multiple coil build that you need them to be all very uniform, say for like a quad coil. It's just really simple. All it requires is one item, which I will get into in just a minute, but I hope you like the tutorial. Thanks for checking it out. So we've all been there before, trying to wrap a coil. Say you've got your drill bit. Right here I'm going to use a 16 drill bit just for the example. But I mean, here's the old method. A lot of people use this method. Like, you clamp your wire with like a small little hand pliers. You hold the drill bit there against it. And you wrap it like this. Now, the problem with this method is if you move your bit at all, if you need to get another grip on the wire, and this happens often when you're pulling at the wire that's wrapped around it, you can lose your tightness of the coil instantly and ruin the coil. So I came up with a new way to do this, and this works particularly for nano coils because of the item involved, but if you get a different gauge needle, then you can pretty much wrap whatever size coil you want. I'm sure that you could probably find horse needles if you really wanted to do macro coils with this technique. But all you really need is one of these. This is your typical blunt gauge needle. This is a 20 gauge, and what you need is not just a simple blunt needle. You need what's called a lure lock needle. A lure lock needle is one like this, where it's got the syringe on a little base, and it's got threading on it so that you can twist it and lock it in place. And what this is good for is changing the gauge of the needle if you need to put a new one on, and then you can still use the same syringe. So what I came up with is a really simple way to fix all the frustration with building coils. Now all you got to do here is take the end of the wire you're working with. So right here I've got some 28 gauge Kanthal. And now you take the plastic syringe end and you stick the end of the wire into that threading where the needle part would lock into. Then you take the lure lock needle, put it in place, and tighten it as hard as you can into the syringe. So now you've got the syringe with the wire hanging out. So then all you got to do is place your fingers on that orange base, get your first wrap started, hold the wire tight, and then turn the syringe. So at this point you can do this one of two ways. Originally when I first started doing this, I would hold the wire like this and then just turn, and each one is half a coil, so you can count it really easily that way. You also have a lot more control over your coils this way. If you have steady hands, or if you're just good at it, you can just hold the base of it, the needle right there, and wrap like normal. So I know the video is a little bit grainy and doesn't really show much, so I reshot a close-up of it so you can see the way that I do this. What I also like to do is kind of use my fingernail and press it up against where the wire meets the syringe. And what that does is it kind of creases the wire around the syringe. So check it out. I don't know if you can see that. It's not focusing very well, but what I'll do is I'll unhook this syringe. So just like that, we've got a beautiful nano coil, no gaps. completely uniform. If you want to do multiple coils, you can be sure that they're going to be pretty much almost exactly the same resistance every time by using this method. So here's my result. Pretty damn good. And again, the ease of this really makes it appealing. However, what I find the best about this is its consistency. I mean, I get the same exact perfect coil every single time that I do this, and it's really easy to set up. You don't need a winding device. You don't need to fiddle around with your pliers and whatever else you got going on. So just thought I'd share. I know it's a really easy kind of thing, but hopefully it helps someone else out there.